My name is Raju. I am lecturer in ACE, Government Polytechnic for Women, Warangal. I am deal with the subject. The subject name is network analysis. It's a third sem subject for DEC students. It belongs to C18 curriculum. It's a revised curriculum. It's a third sem curriculum. The subject code is 305C. Subject code is 305C. So the subject network analysis is the very important subject for higher studies, and also is any competitive exams like GATE, like ESET for diploma students. It's very important subject. So it's to deal with many problems. It is a networks. Main network analysis means what is meant by network. First of all, network is the interconnection between the components. A network, by definition, is it's a interconnection between different electrical components like resistors, capacitors, inductors, or any voltage source, current source, any transformer. So it's an interconnection between different components. It's a closed path. It's a closed loop because of it's a when in this like networks the current is flows. Current is so when if the current is flowing, there is a closed path exists between the different components. Then only the current is flowing in the circuit. So in this network analysis, we find the voltages, currents, and power, like that. Any component in any component or branch, like that, we find the values. So there is different type of methods we want to solve the problems. We use the Kirchhoff laws, and we use the Ohm's law, basic Ohm's law, and also we use mesh analysis, nodal analysis, like that. And also we use the theorems like superposition theorem, Thevenin's theorem, maximum power transfer theorem. So like that, we use different concepts and we solve the currents and voltages and power factor. These are all find with different concepts. So in this network analysis, there is a different chapters. There are different chapters. In first chapter, we deal with basics of electrical circuits and Kirchhoff laws. Basics of electrical circuits. So basic elements like that: what is resistance, what is capacitance, inductance, and different energy sources, current source, voltage source, and also there is a different AC circuits, series RL circuit, RC circuit, RLC circuit, and parallel circuits. So these are different concepts in the first chapter. And there is another chapter is there. Another chapter is there In second chapter, unit 2, we discuss about mesh current and nodal voltage. In the chapter, we find the currents and voltages using mesh analysis or loop analysis, and we find the currents and voltages in each branch or element using nodal analysis. And also we discuss super mesh analysis, super node analysis in this chapter. This is a different concept. In third chapter, we discuss about transient analysis. So it's the DC response. Transient analysis, DC response for a series RF circuit, RC circuit, RLC circuits. So how they behave when we apply the DC voltage or DC current, how the inductor, capacitor and react and inductor resistor, capacitor, how they reacts for the DC excitation. This is the transient analysis. This is the third chapter. In fourth chapter, we discuss about filters and attenuators. So there are different types of filters: low pass filter, high pass filter, band pass filter, band reject filter. So these are different types of filters. And also we discuss about low pass filter, high pass filter, constant K filters and T type T and pi networks. And also we learn in this chapter attenuators like T type attenuator and pi type attenuator. This is the fourth chapter. And fifth chapter we discuss about two-port networks. Okay, two-port networks. In this chapter we learned about Z parameters, Y parameters, ABCD parameters. So these are different parameters in two-port networks. And in the last chapter, there's a sixth chapter, we discuss about network theorems: Thevenin's theorem, Norton's theorem, superposition theorem, maximum power transfer theorem. These are different network theorems. Using these network theorems, how we are solve the problems. These are different theorems. We solve different networks using these theorems. And also we learn about resonance, series resonance, parallel resonance. So this is the sixth chapter. This is the whole brief introduction about the network theory. In this network analysis, the first chapter name is The first chapter name is Basics of Electrical Circuits and Kirchhoff Laws. Basics of Electrical Circuits and Kirchhoff Laws. In this chapter, we learned about basics of the networks, basics of the network analysis, different components, basic laws, Kirchhoff laws and Ohm's law. These topics are covered in this chapter. So first, in this chapter, the different topics are active and passive elements. So what are the active element? What is the passive element? Examples for the active and passive elements. Next, different of energy sources. So current source, voltage source, and the concept alternating voltage. There is a two types of currents and voltage: alternating voltage and alternating current, DC current and DC voltage. So what is alternating current and alternating voltage? What is DC current and DC voltage? These topics are covered in this chapter. And there is a very important topic: series RLC circuits, series RL circuit, series RC circuit, RLC circuits, how they react when we apply the alternating voltage or alternating currents. When we apply the alternating voltage and alternating currents, what is the impedance of these circuits, and what is the power consumed in the circuit, and voltage and currents in each circuits. We find each current and each voltage in the circuits, and also there is a power factor, power. These are all find with some rules, and also we also discuss about methods of solving parallel AC circuits. Methods of solving parallel AC circuits. In this we discuss about phasor diagram method, admittance method, phasor algebra or complex algebra or symbolic method. These are different type of methods. Using these methods we solve the parallel circuits. So these are topics covered in the first lesson. So first topic is in the chapter active and passive elements. Active and passive element. So what is mean by active? Active element. An active element is one which supplies energy to a circuit is called an active element. So it supply the energy. It supply the energy to the circuit. Without active element, there is no energy in the circuit or in our network. So these are basically the best examples are voltage sources and current sources are best example for active elements. Voltage source. The best example of voltage source is battery. Simple battery. If you take the simple battery, it supply the energy. It convert the chemical energy to the electrical energy. Chemical energy to electrical energy. It gives the energy to the circuit. When we connect the any battery to the circuit, it supplies the voltage. This is the best example for voltage source. There is a current source also. The best example for current sources is using transistor. Like if using transistor, it acts as a current source. Okay, this current source also it's give the energy to the circuit. That's why it's called active element. So active elements are voltage sources, current sources. These are active elements which gives the energy to the circuit. Next to passive elements. What is meant by passive elements? And passive element is one which dissipates or stores the energy. It's dissipates the energy or stores the energy. Not supply the energy, dissipates or stores the energy. The best examples for passive elements are resistor, capacitor, inductor. In this, the resistor, it dissipates the energy. When we apply the current or voltage to the resistor, it dissipates the energy in the form of heat. It dissipates in the energy in the form of heat. Next, if you take the capacitor and inductor, it not dissipates the energy, it consumes the energy. It consumes the energy or stores the energy. Stores the energy. It stores the energy in the form of electric field or magnetic field. The capacitor stores the energy in the form of electric field. Inductor stores the energy in the form of magnetic field. So these two elements are also called passive elements. So there is a basic difference between active element and passive elements. Active elements are, it gives the energy, it supplies the energy. Passive elements, it receives the energy or it dissipates the energy or stores the energy. So in the every circuit there is every circuit or every network contains active elements and passive elements. This is the first topic in our lesson. Next one, there is a basic definitions for resistance, capacitance, inductance. These are passive elements. What is the resistance, capacitance and inductance? First element in our basic element is resistance. What is mean by resistance? What is the definition of resistance? Resistance is the physical property of a circuit, element which opposes the flow of electric current. So when we apply the current to the resistance, it opposes the current. It opposes the flow of current. Actually, every material have its resistance. Like conductors also, there is different types of materials: conductors, insulators, semiconductors. So in this, every material, every object have the resistance, but some materials have high resistance and some materials have low resistance. Example, we take the insulators, its resistance very very high. If we take semiconductors, resistance is moderate. If you take conductors, resistance is very very low. These objects, these materials resistance depends on its properties. Like free electrons, the resistance depends on free electrons and the energy gap between the covalent band and valency band. So these are basic concept of resistance. So here units for resistance is ohms. Here there is a different formulas for resistance. For any conductor, the resistance R equal rho L by A. For any conductor, or if you take copper wire, aluminum wire, these are best examples for conductors. So for this materials, the resistance R equal to rho L by A. Here rho is resistivity of the material, L is length of the material, A is area of the material. This is the basic formula for resistance. And also from Ohm's law, R equal to V by I. Resistance is equal to voltage divided by current. So this is the basic formulas, two basic formulas for resistance. And also when current is flowing through a resistance, actually it in the material, the free electrons collide with the atoms. When the collision occurs, the power is dissipated. In the form of heat. That is, the power absorbed by the resistor is, this power is absorbed and it dissipated in the form of heat. The power formula is P equal to VI. Power equal to voltage into current. And also there is a different formulas, I square R or V square by R. These are another formulas for the power. So this is there is a energy lost in the resistance in the form of it, the energy formula is W is equal to integration 0 to T P dt equal P into T or I square RT, V square R by into T. So energy dissipated in the resistance is W equal to I square RT or V square R by T. The basic formula P equal W by T. W equal to P into T. That means I square RT or V square by R into T joules. So this is the basic introduction about resistance. So next one, capacitance. What is meant by capacitance? Capacitance means it is the capability of an element to store electrical charge within it. It is the capability of an element to store electrical charge within it. So capacitor is not energy dissipating element. It stores the energy in the form of electrical charge. So how the capacitor forms? Simply we take two conductor plates, then we separate the two plates with some dielectric. Like any material, a capacitor is a device consisting of two conducting plates separated by a dielectric material. Two conducting plates separated by dielectric material. The dielectric material is air or mica, like that. So the structure forms the capacitor. The capacitance value C equal Q by V. So the basic formula for capacitance is equal to C equal to Q by V. Here Q is charge, V is equal to applied voltage. C equal to Q by V. Q is charge, V is equal to applied voltage. When we apply the voltage, the charge is stored in the dielectric material. So it's the basic concept of the capacitance. The basic formula is equal to C equal to Q by V. And there is another formula is there. Basic formula C is equal to epsilon A by D. Epsilon A by D. Here epsilon is permittivity of the dielectric material. A equal to area of the plates. D means distance between the two plates. This is another formula, very important formula. C equal to epsilon A by D. And also there is another formula also there. The relation between I and C or I and C or V and I equal to C into dV by dt. I equal to C into dV by dt. V equal to 1 by C integration I dt. These are two basic formulas. The relation between current voltage, when you apply the alternating voltage or current, C equal I equal to C into dV by dt or V equal to 1 by C integration I dt. These are two formulas. The energy stored in the capacitor, the formula is W is equal to half CV square. W equal to half CV square. So this is a basic discussion about the capacitance. So there is another passive element, very important passive element is inductance. We have already discussed about what is passive element. This is also one passive element. It also stores the energy, but the capacitance stores the energy in the form of electric field or charge, but inductance store the energy in the form of magnetic field or magnetic flux. Okay, it store the energy in the form of magnetic flux or magnetic field. So basic, what is meant by inductance? Basic definition of the inductance is the property of material by which it opposes any change of current passing through a conductor. So inductance is a property. When we apply the current to the inductor, it does not allow the sudden change in the current. So So any change in the current, it opposes, because of it's generate the EMF, back EMF, electromotive force in the inductor. This electromotive force, it opposes the basic cause. According to Lenz's law, it opposes the basic cause is current. So it opposes the current. It is the property of the inductance. So inductance opposes the sudden change in the current or change in current. Basically, the inductance is formed simply any wire, any conductor, when it is twisted, it acts like a simple inductor. Just as twisted in turns, then it's act as a inductor. So the basic unit of inductance is Henry. Basic unit of inductance is Henry. The basic formulas for inductance: L equal to N pi by I is a basic formula. There is another formulas also there. E equal to L into di by dt. E equal to L into d by dt. And there is a energy stored. Already we discussed about energy stored in the inductor is in the form of magnetic field. Here energy stored in the inductor, W is equal to half Li square. So this is a basic concept about inductance L. So here the basic symbols for the different symbols for resistors, capacitors, inductors shown in the figure. So these are the different types of resistors. Simple resistor, there is a variable resistors. Variable resistor means the resistance value changes. Fixed resistor means the resistance value does not change. In variable resistor, our requirement, we change the value of the resistance. There is a preset, thermistors, photocells. These are different types of resistors. Preset means certain range values only we use the presets. Next, these are different types of capacitors and their symbols. Capacitors, different types of capacitor: polarized capacitors, non-polarized capacitors, variable capacitors, trimmers, ganged variable capacitors. These are different symbols for capacitors. And inductors, there is inductors also there. These are different types of inductors: air wound inductor, iron core inductor, air core inductor, ferrite core inductor, and also there is a variable inductors. These are different types of inductor. So this is the basic concept like passive elements, inductors, capacitor, resistors, the definition of the inductor and capacitor and resistor. So the basic formulas used for inductor and capacitors and resistors. So thank you.